You did what? My voice cracked as I stared at Carol across the kitchen table, my stomach twisting into knots. She didn't even flinch. Her manicured nails tapped rhythmically on the coffee mug she held, her expression calm to calm. I used it for the wedding, she said, shrugging as though we were discussing pocket change. Luke needed help with the cost, and it's family money. You'll get over it. Family money, I echoed, my voice rising. That was my money. I worked 2 years waiting tables to save for college. Carol, you said you'd invest it for me. I did, she replied, her tone sharper now. I invested it in something important to your brother's wedding. Her son, not my brother. Luke wasn't even pretending to care about the fallout. As far as he was concerned, his dream wedding, with its extravagant venue and flower arrangements that probably cost more than my tuition, was far more valuable than anything I could have planned for myself. My blood boiled. But before I could respond, my father walked into the room, coffee in hand. What's all this yelling about? He asked, his eyes darting between us. Ask Carol, I snapped. She spent my college savings on Luke's wedding. My name is Emma Williams, and I'm 19 years old. For as long as I can remember, my stepmother, Carol, has been the dominant force in our house. My mom passed away when I was 10, and by the time my father remarried, I was desperate for some version of normalcy. But Carol made it clear early on that her priorities were her biological son, Luke, and herself. I became an afterthought, someone to nod at during dinner but not worth investing in. When I got my first job at 16, I started saving immediately. Every tip, every extra shift went into my college fund. I wanted to go to a local university and study nursing, a dream my mom had shared for me. Carol always talked a big game about financial responsibility. So when she suggested I let her invest my savings to grow it, I believed her. I thought I could trust her. I was wrong. I don't understand, my dad said, scratching his head as Carol breezed past him, clearly done with the conversation. Why didn't you tell me? I didn't know until now, I said, my voice trembling. She said she'd invest the money for me, but she spent it all on Luke's wedding. He frowned, but I could see the conflict in his eyes. He hated confrontation, and Carol knew it. I'm sure there's been some misunderstanding, he said weakly. Let me talk to her. A misunderstanding? My voice rose. Dad, she admitted it. She doesn't even think she did anything wrong. My father didn't have an answer. He muttered something about needing to get to work and disappeared upstairs, leaving me alone in the kitchen with the weight of my stepmother's betrayal pressing down on me. Thus she had stolen my future, and my father was too spineless to stand up to her. That night, as I lay in bed staring at the ceiling, my anger turned into resolve. I wasn't going to let her get away with this. That money was mine, and if my father wouldn't fight for me, I'd fight for myself. The next morning, I called a local lawyer whose name I found on a flyer at the library. I need to know if there's anything I can do, I told him, explaining the situation. It's my savings. I worked for it. Can I get it back? Possibly, he said, his voice calm and professional. If you can prove the money was yours and that she used it without your consent, you have a case, but it won't be easy. Are you prepared to go to court? I hesitated. Taking my stepmother to court felt drastic, but what choice did I have? Carol wasn't going to admit she was wrong, and my father clearly wasn't going to intervene. Yes, I said firmly. I'm prepared. When I told my father about the lawsuit, he was horrified. Emma, do you really want to do this? He asked, pacing the living room. It's just going to cause more tension in the family. She already caused tension. I shout back. Dad, she stole from me. This isn't about family, it's about what's right. His shoulders slumped, and for a moment, I thought he might side with me. But then Carol walked in, her face a mask of irritation. So what's the plan, Emma? She sneered. You're going to drag your family through the mud over a few thousand. Real mature. It's not just a few thousand, I said, my voice shaking, but steady. It's my future, and I won't let you take that from me. Her lips curled into a smirk. Do what you have to do, sweetheart. You won't win. That was the moment I knew there was no turning back. Carol thought she could intimidate me into backing down, but she underestimated just how far I was willing to go. With the lawyer's help, I filed the lawsuit and started gathering evidence, bank statements, pay stubs, anything that proved the money was mine. It wasn't just about the $8,000 anymore. It was about standing up for myself, about refusing to let someone else dictate my worth. Carol had stolen more than my savings, she'd stolen my trust, and I was determined to get it back.